I've heard you talk a lot about the need for Democrats to invite people to join us again, that we can't be wagging our fingers at people who may have supported Trump in the past, that essentially, like, if people don't agree with us on every single point, they still need to feel like they have a home with us. So both, how do we kind of stay on the path of a message that's, what we should be focusing on, and how do we invite people back into the Democratic fold if we're going to be successful in 26 and 28?
The reality is that while there is a clear and intentional effort to flood the zone, we obviously, while we need to maintain a central focus, we also can't ignore injustice or harm, or in certain instances, we all know, literal murder in our streets when that is occurring. And we can't let that be normalized or allow it to go unchallenged. And I think that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. I think that it means not picking every battle, but picking the battles that are most acute, most urgent, and most needed in a particular moment. That's hard. And that doesn't mean that when we're not responding on a particular issue that we're not saying it's unimportant, but that ultimately, if we are going to protect all of the communities and types of and all of the folks that we're fighting for, which is everyone, we need to win. And in order to win, it means making sure we are building a broad coalition. I think it means, one, when we are responding to these efforts to foment culture wars, that we are pulling the curtain back on what is a blatant and obvious political strategy, a strategy as old as politics itself, to divide and to misdirect the public's attention, and to reinforce for people every single time you see them going after immigrants, every single time you see them talking about trans people, look at what they're doing with their other hand, because I guarantee you in that exact same moment, they're picking the pocket of American workers, they're fleecing seniors, they're cutting healthcare, they're cutting food assistance. This is all part of a strategy, and we cannot separate these two issues, because they are using them not only to try to misdirect the public's attention, but when they're cutting healthcare, when they're cutting food assistance, they are using that money as a piggy bank to fund their authoritarian machine that is murdering American citizens in the street, abridging due process, and seeking to bridge the freedom of anyone who lives or looks differently than Donald Trump and his cabinet and his billionaire donors. And so I think we have to be better at connecting all of those issues. And then finally, to your point around the need for us to grow our tent, people want to feel like democracy is easy. And I think social media has sort of led us to believe that advocacy, that change making is easy, right? We get to say exactly what we want in the most unfiltered way, and that's going to get us the most retweets and the most likes, and that's the measure of success. And that's pretty easy, right? Because we don't have to think about it. We get to say whatever we want, and we get to do whatever we want, and that is effective advocacy. That is change making, and that is just not the reality. Democracy is hard. It is not easy, and it is often unfair. It's imperfect, but it is the best form of government that we have to maximize opportunity and freedom for people, and to guarantee that every single person has what is the most foundational human hope, which is control over our own destiny.